Hi guys, and welcome to another 7-minute lecture. I know it's been a while, I've been a bit busy with my PhD work, but hopefully I will get into the habit of posting every single day once again. So let's see how my return goes. For my new video, I thought, you know what? Since I've been gone for a week, the one thing that's really dominated the news headlines has been Afghanistan, particularly the Taliban taking over Kabul and by extension the whole of Afghanistan for practical purposes anyway. So in this lecture, let's just look at the various positions that different actors and different power blocks have taken and hopefully get a sense of what might be next for the future of Afghanistan from the perspectives of all these different external actors. Firstly, from the United Nations, they seem quite keen on using international recognition as leverage against the Taliban. So if we look at statements that come out of the United Nations, right now they are not looking to antagonize the Taliban, they are not looking to interfere in any way. The statements they've made are more along the lines of we need to offer them international recognition if they choose to abide by our conditions. So respecting women's rights, respecting the rights of children, education rights, human rights in general. Some have also criticized this by saying that the United Nations must take a stronger stand other than just saying boo-hoo to the Taliban. But anyone who's seen my videos before will know that one thing I've often pointed out before is the sort of general ineffectiveness of the United Nations, and we see that here as well. From the US perspective, once again, a very important one, as you all must already know, this is something that many in the sort of the US administration say was inevitable, but at the same time, we had the US President Joe Biden just assuring the world a short while ago that he believes or he believed that the Afghan forces could defend against the Taliban. We've clearly not seen that happen. The Taliban is on a roll. And right now, there doesn't seem to be any second guessing the policy, even though there are reports that some soldiers will be sent in to help control or to help the Afghan government control the situation. It does not really look like a reversal of US policy is anywhere in sight. It still looks like the plan to remove or evacuate all Americans from the region. It looks like that will still go on. From China's perspective, what's interesting to note is that China has actually been pretty welcoming of the Taliban. China has actually had meetings with the Taliban, negotiation talks, which reportedly were very friendly, very cordial, very productive. The Taliban has said that it looks forward to working with the Chinese government, and the Chinese government has also said that it looks forward to working with the new Taliban government, because ultimately both are actors which want to consolidate power in their own backyards. The Taliban, for all their sort of proclamations of Islamic tradition and Islamic faith and all that, they don't really care what China does to the Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang and things like that. They only care about doing business with geopolitical actors. Similarly, China doesn't care that doing business with the Taliban or that an unstable Afghanistan with the Taliban presence might have local security repercussions in China. They don't care about that. It's all about doing business. The Russian perspective is quite similar. From Russia's point of view, they too have made it quite clear that they are willing to work with the Taliban. The Russian Foreign Affairs Minister even said that it's a lot better for them to work with the actual Taliban rather than the puppet government, because they always felt that the government was propped by the Americans and wouldn't last even a couple of months without the Americans, and they turned out to be true. The Afghan government couldn't even last a couple of months without the Americans there. Once the Americans started withdrawing, the Taliban just knocked them over quite easily. So Russia too is quite willing to play ball with the Taliban. India and Pakistan are the two other big neighboring nuclear powers that we need to look at. With Pakistan, it's a bit obvious. Some people are even saying that this entire push by the Taliban is being done with Pakistani support. Of course, the Pakistani government is not in a position where they can kind of publicly deny or accept these charges, but this speculation is rife in the region that the Taliban offensive is to a large extent supported, helped, armed, funded by the Pakistani government. The Pakistani government has to be careful though, because the last time they took up a position like this, it ended up backfiring on them and kind of biting them as well. So they need to be careful about that. And finally, we have India. From the Indian perspective, they've always been a little hesitant to deal with the Taliban. Even before 9/11 and Osama bin Laden and all that, there was the Kandahar hijacking in the 90s, which kind of soured relations between the Taliban and India. And the Taliban has said there's been no talks between the Taliban and the Indian government, but the Taliban have said that if India was willing to be neutral, if India was willing to be what they call impartial, if India was willing to offer, I think the term they used is, if India was willing to give them a platform of impartiality, then they would be willing to engage with India. From the Indian side, of course, they need somebody in Afghanistan to liaise with, because Afghanistan's a big part of their larger geopolitical picture, particularly in terms of sort of pressuring Pakistan from the other side and things like that. So overall, those are some of the major actors involved in this, and this is the position that many of them have taken. So we've looked at the United Nations, we've looked at the United States, Russia, China, Pakistan and India. As far as NATO is concerned, which I guess is the only other major bloc, we still don't know what their overall position would be, because NATO does not have a singular policy position like sovereign nations do. So it's going to be a mix of what various countries think. But overall, I don't really see NATO playing a very influential role in the fate of Afghanistan, particularly for this Taliban 2.0 regime, the new Taliban regime. So that's it, guys. I hope we kind of had a comprehensive snapshot in just 7 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. If you sort of like these videos, as always, don't forget to share and subscribe. Thank you, take care, and hopefully I'll see you soon.